Welcome back. It's still Daybreak Africa, reaching you live from our Lagos studios of KAFTAN Television. Now it's time for the interview segment. Security is a very crucial part of a nation's well-being, existence, and development. Hence, countries set up apparatus to help cater for the internal and external security of its nation. So today we'll be talking about state police as an option to tackle insecurity in Nigeria. With us in the studio today is a social affairs analyst in person of Macdonald. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so sir, with the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, insecurity is one of the challenges facing our country right now. Would you say the implementation of state police is an option to address this security issue?
Well, first, before we ask if state police is an option, we should first establish the duties and rules of the police. The police are responsible for maintaining civil order. They are responsible for the safety of lives and properties. Now, Nigeria runs a federalism policy, or policing rather, where the federal government is in charge of the police. If the police was decentralized, in my own opinion, it will become what we call a form of community policing, whereby the locals know the police officers, even their DPO, and the DPO knows the locals as well, thereby making the landscape and the environment very familiar. If there is a threat, it will be easy to respond because they are close. You decentralize the police. They are not coming from far. So for me, I think if the police is decentralized, it will be more effective. They will respond more effectively. They will respond faster to calls of threats and social disorder.
But again, yes, that's the role of the police, you understand, and you have reeled out that, okay, when you have that kind of policing, state policing, it's more of a community police where it is the community itself that polices itself, you understand. But again, there are challenges. Because we find out that the federal government is not allowing such things. That's especially stakeholders have looked at it over and on. There was a time it ranged for almost a year or 2 years. It ranged on, and people were talking about state policing. I'm sure there are challenges that they foresee, though there are also benefits. Like you have said, it will be easy, the landscape and everything. So, what are these challenges? And what are the things that you think the government or the stakeholders saw and they say no to that kind of thing?
Okay, thank you. Firstly, if you decentralize the police, I'll use the West for an example. For instance, when you look at Switzerland, you look at Sweden, you look at Australia, even the US, their police is decentralized. In the US, we have the FBI, we have the highway troopers,
yes,
we have the county sheriffs. Now, if there is a problem in the county, before the state troopers or the highway start coming from wherever they are, the county sheriffs will first act as a buffer, a first aid, to tackle the issue. So even if they can't curb it, they can at least mitigate it while there's backup.
That's right.
So, well, the challenges I think they will face is when you decentralize the police, I think the funding will have to come from the states. So that is one challenge. Then another one is, as long as we are all close, the police is close to the community is close to the police. The way we have easy access to the police is the same way the police has easy access to us. So if the police is decentralized, I think one of the problems could be there could be manipulation, in the sense that you can now easily access, because you already know who you're going to meet. So I think that is one of the challenges that you might face. But all in all, I think state policing is a viable option.
Okay, yeah, we know this is one of these challenges, like it will be political. People, local politicians might want to take advantage of it. Loyalty will be divided and all that.
No.
So what strategy do you think will help, like, suit this to avoid all those
No, let me be straight. I said one of the challenges, that was one of the challenges, in the sense that when you decentralize the police, it is localized. Now, most of the officers will be recruited from the vicinity. That is an advantage of employment. But the disadvantage is, like we all said, like I said earlier, there will be easy and direct access. So maybe, like you said, local politicians
may want to take advantage, and
it's possible. But then that is it's a disadvantage.
Yeah, but do you can you suggest a kind of strategy that can be used to prevent that from happening?
Well, the police could implement policies that will checkmate and mitigate such relationships. They could bring in or implement a department or a human resource department that is solely to investigate and is concerned with this particular issue.
So we have said things about the importance of it, and also it's not really important, the advantages and also some of the disadvantages now of having a state police or community police, and how they are able to relate with their community and every other thing. But then I want to ask a question coming down to the individuals. You understand, who should be employed into a state police, that's in a community police, in case we are going to have it? Because you see, I'm an Igbo man and I live in a Yoruba state, and probably I have all the criterias to become a community police person. Should there be a multi-ethnic involvement, so that things like the one ethnic group being a community police does not arise and could cause this? And should that be, or should there be other means?
In my opinion, I don't think ethnicity should be a prerequisite for state policing, because Nigeria is a multi-ethnic country, but we are one country. So I feel there shouldn't be any ethnic requirements in state policing.
So an Hausa man can actually go to the east and become a policeman in that community, and so the same way.
Exactly. While recruiting, there should probably be some sort of like a quota system, for instance.
Quota system.
For instance, let's say in my place, for instance, if they want to recruit 100 people, you say 50 people should come from this locality, then the remaining 50 anywhere else from Nigeria. Why? Normally, when you live in this house, you know the nooks and crannies of the house. You know where it is bad, you know where it's good, you know where it's leaking, you know everything. So I believe if you have more of the particular locals and others to make up, I think we will be heading somewhere.
Okay. Now, should, in case like maybe Nigeria wants to adopt this creation of state policing and all that, what do you think what do you think should be done to ensure professionalism and effectiveness in the people that will be chosen?
The police already have shown professionalism so many times. So I believe they will implement those policies. It is not for me to say.
That's a very easy way to escape from such questions.
No, they might not want to. They might not want to put in maybe someone that's already a police officer, or maybe they'll just want to make somebody. So maybe they'll want the person to go through some trainings and all that, just to equip the person.
But then my final question to you now. Let's look at it politically. You know, because some of these things they are supposed to be in the legislative, and then the National Assembly goes through it, talk about it, and then it goes to the State Assembly, and then there's an agreement that this is how it is going to be. Do you think the country has what I would call a political will to be able to do that? Our leaders.
I believe they do. I believe they do.
You believe they do?
I believe they do. I believe they have the political will.
But then why is that not carried out?
You know, Rome was not really built in a day. It's a very popular saying. A lot of times we compare ourselves to countries rather, that are way ahead of us in innovation, advancement, science, technology. And now we use the same yardstick to measure ourselves with them, expecting the results they get, that we should get the same results here, when we are not situated in the same position as them. What am I trying to say? State policing, gradually, if implemented, in time, will be effective in curbing insecurity. Just like if you look at America, there were times they had insecurity and other things. But how are they today? So time will reach one will still be like that. But then it's a gradual process. We'll start with the implementation of the policies that, if it passes through, the decentralization first. So that's my take.
Well, we just hope federal government of Nigeria do what it can to help tackle this issue of insecurity in Nigeria. And even if it means creating state policing as an option, then maybe they should just go ahead and do that. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's how far we can go for today's interview segment. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, Daybreak Africa continues. Don't go nowhere.